with workout number 4 of week 1. I hope you guys are having a great week. We're well into our week, so I hope you guys are feeling good. For this workout, we are going to start with our warm-up like we always do. It's going to be 5 minutes, and we are going to start with walking high knees. Okay, so what that's going to look like, exactly what it sounds like. Walking high knees. If you can't get your knees that high, get them as high as you can. Okay, that's going to be for tier 1. For tier 2 and 3, love to see you get those running high knees. You need to hold those hands out to give you a target to get to. Do that. And then we are going to do what we call walking butt kicks for tier 1. Literally trying to kick yourself in your butt. Okay? Or for tier 2 and 3, again, running. Okay? And then we are going to do 10 20-foot shuttles. So shuttles is just a run, guys. It's a short span. We're just running, turning, running. Okay? 20 feet each way. And that's going to be our warm-up. For our mobility, we're going to start off with shoulder opener number 1. So you can do this against a wall. You can grab a post, anything that you have. So anything, literally anything, okay? So I want your arm parallel with the floor, place your palm there, and then you're gonna turn your body away from that arm and that shoulder, okay? And we're holding like 45 seconds-ish aside, okay? And we'll do the other side. And then we're gonna do a shoulder opener number 3. I think this is the second or third time you guys have done this stretch, so you should have this one down by now. Again, stretching those arms out, elbows locked out, pushing against the wall, also pushing our chest down towards the floor, keeping those soft knees in that natural curve to the lumbar. Then we're going to do a seated straddle stretch. So I know you guys have already done this, but again, don't force this position. Do the best you can. Keep your chest nice and tall, and progress is made with big, deep breaths. In all of our stretching, I want big, deep breaths. Every time you exhale, try to relax into the stretch. From there, we're going to go to our seated figure 4. So bring those legs in. Bend one leg as much as you can while getting the ankle of the other leg across that knee. This is about all I have in this stretch. Some of you may have more, some of you may have less, okay? Do the best you can. Take your hand and press against that knee to give yourself a good stretch through the hip. Okay, and for today's WOD, we have a strength portion before we actually get into the workout. First part of the strength is you're going to do 5 sets of 8 reps of goblet squats or back squats. So that means there's going to be 5 sets, and inside each of those sets, you're going to do 8 repetitions, okay? So for tier 1, you guys can do what we call goblet squats. You can use a kettlebell or a dumbbell. I'll show you with a dumbbell. You've got a couple different versions here. You can hold it like this. It's called a goblet squat because we're holding it like a goblet. And then all of the squat rules that we talked about for WOD 3 are going to apply here. So we're going to initiate with the hips, not the knees. So the hips move first, and then the knees go out. Ideally, we want to get that hip crease lower than the knees, but do the best that you can. And also for tier 1, if you guys need to have a chair or a bench or a stool or something behind you to facilitate that, to get as low as you can and then stand, do that. You may even get to the point where you can't hold a weight, but I want you to try as long as you can. Now, if you don't have a dumbbell, or even if you do, you could also use a kettlebell if you have one. And we're gonna hold that upside down with the bell against us. And again, all of those squat rules apply. Now, I do know that you guys have some kettlebell versions and some dumbbell options in the auditorium, but if you're not there or you don't have access to those for whatever reason for this workout, use something that you have at home, a jug of water, something, okay? Now, that's gonna be for tier 1 and tier 2. For tier 3, if you guys have the capabilities or facility that you can do back squats in, you're gonna do a back squat. Now, when we're taking the bar off the rig, first, I need you guys to think about what you're doing, okay? It's not just another mundane activity, part of your day. You're about to lift heavy weight. So I need you to treat it as such, okay? So get ready to lift, okay? I want those hands on it. You're gonna get underneath the bar, and I want you driving your elbows back and down like you're trying to touch them together. So we're torquing that bar into us, okay? We're not just letting it, you know, lackadaisical lay on our back, okay? So torquing that bar into us, okay? And we're gonna let it lay on the traps here. No bony prominences of our neck, okay? So walk forward, get under the bar with both feet, okay? It's laying on the meat of my traps. No arched backs here. I want a nice tight belly, ribs stacked over the hips, eyes forward. Notice both my feet are under my hips, and we are going to stand, okay? You're gonna take a couple steps back. Tier 3, I'm expecting that you guys already know how to do a back squat, and then all of our squat rules apply. So initiating with those hips, sitting our hips down and back, and up. And then you're gonna do 5 sets of 8, so 5 sets with 8 repetitions in each set of a floor press or a bench press. So for tier 1, you guys are gonna do a floor press. Now, I find that if I lift the dumbbells to my legs first, if they're kind of heavy, then if I keep my elbows tucked into my sides and my arms in position, and I lay back, I've got my dumbbells in position now. So you can have your knees bent or your legs straight. Either way is fine, okay? But you're just gonna press straight up towards the ceiling, okay? Be careful on the way back down that you're not driving your elbows into the floor. And pressing straight up from the chest. Notice I'm not bringing them in like this, okay? So keep those forearms nice and straight up. And that's gonna be your floor press. All right, for tier 2 and tier 3, you guys are gonna do a bench press, all right? So if you've never done a bench press, or even if you have, I wanna talk about what looks right for a bench press. Now, when we do bench press, it's not just about our arms. Our whole body is involved. And a lot of people don't realize that. So we're gonna talk about that. The first thing is, we're gonna be squeezing our shoulder blades together. Think about holding a marker or something in between your shoulder blades. So from the time you take the barbell off of your rig and bring it down to your chest and back up, those shoulder blades are squeezed together. We never let that go at any time. So shoulder blades squeezed together, bench, and back up, okay? When you're bringing the bar down, you want it to come just below the chest line, okay? We're driving our heels into the ground. I'm squeezing my butt hard, I'm squeezing my belly, shoulder blades are squeezed together. When we're pressing the barbell up, it should be violent, like something that you really dislike and you want it away from you, okay? As far as where the barbell should be lined up when you're underneath, a lot of people put their head way back behind where it should be, head hanging off the bench. We don't want that. We want the barbell somewhere in like that mid-face range before you take it off. Okay, so we're gonna lay back. I'm gonna get under my barbell where it should be. Now, if I had a bench, it would look pretty much the same. I'm digging my heels into the floor, okay? My butt's squeezed, my belly's squeezed. I'm gonna squeeze those shoulder blades together. And incidentally, my bar height is right about wrist level when I've stretched my arms out, and that's gonna be the right height. So squeezing those shoulder blades together, I'm gonna lift my bar off of the rig, keeping my elbows in, just below that chest line, pressing up, okay? You guys don't have to pause at the bottom, that's just for instructional purposes. So down, and then and then that brings us to the workout of the day. It's just 5 minutes long, but don't let that fool you. the shorter the workout, generally, the more it kind of kicks your butt. So it's gonna be a 5-minute AMRAP. What an AMRAP is, it stands for as many rounds and reps as possible. So you're gonna do as many reps as possible of burpees in 5 minutes, okay? So what that's gonna look like for everyone, all right? For tier 2 and 3, I kind of would expect you guys to be able to do these as prescribed. For tier 1, guys, I just want you to get up and down off the floor however you can. You may need to do them beside a couch to help you get up and down. I don't know what that's gonna look like for you, but that's what I want. I want you to get all the way down on the floor, all the way back up. There are few things, if any, that are more functional than a burpee because we're gonna need to be able to get up off the floor for the rest of our lives, okay? So this movement is very, very functional and very important. So, what we call the RX version, so if you're gonna do it as prescribed, we're gonna reach down towards the floor. We're gonna flop our body down on the floor. So I don't wanna see like this negative descent from a push-up. I just want you to flop that chest down on the floor, okay? From here, we're gonna bring the chest up and I'm gonna pop my legs and my feet into a squat position. Notice that my feet are flat on the floor. So squat position, I'm gonna reach and jump, okay? So in time, that looks like okay? For some of you though, that might be and that's fine, okay? Up and down off the floor as many times as you can in 5 minutes.